point out some things in this blog post because I want you to get the point to where I get to this point. I have a very long fuse. I do. But once I get to the point where my fuse goes off, I don't know what I'm going to say. That's why I'm going to be very careful how I say what I say. I'm going to say, first off, the reason I point out some things on, whether it be on a Facebook page or not, because I see family and friends, they're going to see this stuff. They're going to read some of it. Some of them, they're not going to, they don't care. A lot of them are busy doing their own thing. I don't even talk to most of them anyway on an everyday basis. And if I ran into them, might not even recognize each other. That's fine. You know what I mean? I give people their space. I let people do what they want. I don't put any restrictions on anybody. At any time, you're welcome to join the conversation. No one's holding a gun that you have to be Facebook friends. And I'm certainly not going to let my Facebook page determine who I'm friends with and who I'm not. So if I see some of them out in public, I don't care what you do on Facebook or social media. I know who you are, or I wouldn't have allowed you in my world. And at times, I've been totally in the wrong. But if I see people in public that I used to at the high school, I might not even talk to them. But it doesn't matter because I'm not looking to go out of my way to attack people, but I'm going to address the topic that people that do. And they go out of their way to do it. They went through a great effort to prove their point to you. Okay? Those are the people that have an axe to grind. And if they have access to discussions and things they weren't even invited into, they're probably not even involved in any factor in my life. They're not friends, okay? I don't care if I'm related to them or not. They're not in my world, okay? It doesn't matter their opinion, because my opinion doesn't matter to them either, okay? But what I'm addressing on my Facebook page is that there are people who I've known over a period of time, they just get irritated, annoyed, and they'll say things. And after a while, what I notice is a pattern. So I'm going to just volunteer you. I'm going to give you a way out. If you're going to go on my social media page, personally, you can just unfriend me. The door's that way, honey. I do not need to argue with you guys. I don't go on my Facebook page to debate people on politics and religion. Actually, I try to avoid it because I'm actually seeing the difference in my relationships. Personally, you can relate on political issues and religious issues from time to time, but I'm not dogmatic about it anymore. There was a time I might have been a little bit more because I didn't understand, but I'm not dogmatic about politics or religious. My view could change. It could. I mean, but I end up right back there in the middle, kind of not sure. I can't follow news stories. I don't want to. I am done with the Facebook pages. I don't even want to do it anymore. Unless I'm really intrigued by what I'm hearing, I don't even care about the election at this point. That's how I'm getting. I'm getting to the point that we have been force-fed the political jargon so much. I mean, we actually want to do other things. Like, I actually like to work out. I like to go out to dinner. I like going out with people that aren't gonna, always have an opinion. It's nice to get out and do things and go out and exercise and get things done. But I know sometimes things are, tie you down at the house. For me, it's been I got sick and I'm on Facebook, So if I'm interacting with people on Facebook, I would like anything to hang out with some of the people on my page and go out to a restaurant, take them out to dinner, go somewhere really nice. I wish I could take a lot of them and just put them in one room and go somewhere and hang out and just be friends. Go out and go rock climbing or something like that. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that we meet on Facebook we're not even in the same state, not even in the same town. It would be really nice one of these days that some of us could introduce each other and meet each other and do nice things. I would love that. But the problem is that if you go on your Facebook page and it somehow gets back to your aunt's cousin, sister's, mom's friend, and that person said this, that on Facebook, and they said this, some things just haven't changed, okay? I mean, people have been gossiping for as long as possible, and I realize gossip and bullying is one of the hardest, hurtful things you could do. But if you're smart enough and you're wise, you'll realize that it doesn't matter if it's Facebook or it's over at the church pew, okay? Or nowadays, it could be anywhere. It could be at some community center. It could be, but most of the time, gossip is usually going on in your family, okay? And it's hurtful to me. And one of the things that hurts me the most is that I know people are innocently sorry for what they've done, and they can't take back what they do. All they can do is what they can do now, and I give them a little bit more grace period to do that. But if they don't show any interest in trying to, get things right, you just let that go, okay? I mean, no one holds a gun to people to be Facebook friends. You want to do it because you want to have fun and have a light conversation. This getting intense on YouTube and Facebook, it sucks. It's actually really kind of hard to talk like this all the time. Okay, so with that said, have we made our point? Like, you can go on Facebook. You don't have to agree. No one's ever forcing you to believe one way. We don't want to be dogmatic. We can talk about something. My opinion is this. Exploit the topics, not the people. If you don't agree with somebody, please don't attack me or attack somebody in the comment section. Or if you want to, you have your opinion. Whether you're pissed off, go take it out on something. And then come back and let's have a talk. Because I'm going to tell you, all you're going to do is piss people off and piss yourself off more. And if that's what you're into, fine. But just take a walk. Take a walk. What stirred this up? So I'm going to point that out because I want you to hear that. Because the point to this is why I even posted this blog. The point is, I've known people that I didn't think I knew them. I thought I knew them well. Okay, and I think that's one of the things is that you find out that there's more going on in all of our lives. A lot of things piss us off at times. A lot of things get us upset. Okay, and I don't mean to use the word pissed off, but that's the best word. It's the only word I could find. I could say, angry as hell. Okay, I don't know, but I know there are people that we want to take everything for face value, and I wish the world was like that. And honestly, there are things that you like and don't like, okay? And you're learning that as you go through this. I'm not a dogmatic person. I'm not really into, I'm not a very religious person. I believe spiritual principles are very key. I'm big on that. I like to entertain different discussions, though. But at the end of the day, where I end up landing my feet is I want to know that God loves me and that He acknowledges me, because I don't think any other important thing that drives me throughout the day is love. That I live with purpose, and if I'm living with purpose, my purpose is to learn to be a better person, love others, and do better. I don't want to be criticizing people. I don't want to spend my time eating up discussion time where I have something to say and all I'm doing is criticizing and responding to an asshole, literally negative comments. Sorry, but that's what ends up happening, and that's where I end up my focus. And then I'm doing a blog post, and then it goes on Facebook, and then someone's grandma's friends told my ex-boyfriend that I said this, and my ex-boyfriend said that, and you know what? I don't have time for gossip. If you want to talk to me, you can directly talk to me. Okay? You don't have to go tell my ex-boyfriend's mom who goes to church up there in the corner church over there. I mean, please, okay? It's not as if I want anybody over there, okay? I'm not trying to win people over. But what I am saying is the power of persuasion is very effective. Okay? You might be persuaded to believe everything I just said is to be true. But I'm just speaking from personal experience, okay? I'm not saying it's true or not, okay? I'm just saying these have been my experiences, and when I go on to a social page, I, of course, almost expect somebody is going to tell such and such, my ex-boyfriend's mom or dad, at some picnic, okay? I almost expect it because that's how people are. I'm not arguing with people don't gossip. I just don't want them around me. That's all they have is gossip, because they get a cheap thrill out of talking about people. And I don't know what else to say, okay? We give them plenty of reasons to gossip too, by the way. I just want to let you know. Thank you so much for understanding that life can be very... there are people that purposely go out of their way to test us. I mean, you should be aware of that. And I want to end it with this. Like, there is no other... I mean, I'm posting on a blog post. Am I opening myself up to be attacked? Not really. I'm responding because anytime I post something, something, I'm sure there's going to be somebody that's going to respond negatively from time to time, or they don't even care what I say. They don't normally, unless I have something that legitimately to respond to, they don't really care. So it doesn't matter. But I do know that a lot of people like to use that as collateral damage, or keep hold of things over your head. You don't have to, because see, I'm totally truthful. I live a very truthful life, and I keep everything out and open so that no one can use it to attack me. I'm completely open and honest about it, because as far as I'm concerned, if people use it to attack you, then that's on them. That's them. That's on them, and that's fine. You gotta leave it at that. Because I would rather them attack me and disrespect me. At least they're not being dishonest. I mean, the way I look at it, if they're gossip and they're into that, they either have A, nothing better to do, they have nothing better to do, B, there's something going on in their life that they have to take the time to, you know what I mean? They're pissed off at you for something, okay? And it's their deal. It's on them, okay? If we keep our side of the street clean, we try to do the best we can, good. We're all good. But believe me, there's some people you'll never, no matter how nice you are to them, how many things you trip over yourself, trip over your words, you're not going to get there. They're not going to totally be into you. It's okay. It's totally okay. There's a book called He's Not Really That Into You. I really want to get that book. A lot of us could read that book. Just want to point out this. I never said I'm perfect in everything. And I don't want you to take everything I say as Bible. These are the experiences I have. And whether it's based on an opinion or not, I've experienced this personally. And I know what happens when you walk away from these discussions. People either just they're on to the next thing. So that's what I like. It's like, you can have a talk and we're on to the next thing. That's my deal. I'm not always going to stay at the same place with certain things. That's why I'm not dogmatic about any of this stuff, okay? I would rather just kind of have a discussion about it. You might even sway me to disagree, but, bottom line is, are you there to persuade me and talk me into something? Because I'm good. I'm always willing to listen to opinions, and that's why I always open this discussion up. You can always open it up in thread. You can respond back with a video. I do whatever. But I leave this platform open just enough so that I can actually address some things and topics and lay the rules down. And if I lay the rules down and say, listen, we're going to talk about this, and God knows where some of these things, but we always got to bring it back. Bring it back to the beginning. We're going to open up the discussion, but to bring it to a close, we got to find solutions, answers. And you know what? I realized that I have to avoid certain people on purpose. They have backed me in a corner in the past. They've put me in situations. I still can't get out of certain situations because of some of them. And I have to avoid them because I don't know how to deal with them. I'm still not through it. So I have to purposely walk away from some people. Purposely. I purposely do not discuss things on certain topics for purpose. Very methodical reasons why I don't do that. Not because I don't like you, not because sometimes I just purposely avoid it altogether because it might, you know what I mean? I'm not sure where it's going to end up. So, and I don't always respond back to private messages, same thing, because it just we can't end the discussion, and I don't like texting for the same reasons. I just want to say hi, and then we start talking, and before you know it, I'm not getting my work done, and I know that that's not why we go on and text people, but that ends up what happened. And until we can put some limitations on that, sometimes going out and texting people, you want to talk to them, you want to spend some time with them, and they're in between driving. I don't want people to be getting in a car accident and texting, just tell me, I'll talk to you later, or don't respond and then catch up with me later. I'm not that difficult to work that out with. But I don't want to get caught up in it either. I don't want to be on voicemail and texting back people. It eats up a lot of free time, and sometimes I just simply don't have the time to keep up. And honestly, I don't even have the patience to text always back and forth. It's just too much other demanding things, and it just demands more time. With that said, I just want you to know, that's why I always open these posts up. You can always comment in the thread, or vice versa. If you have a comment or discussion, I always like to respond in the thread, okay? I try to keep that opening available to all of us, so hopefully we got that cleared up. So comment below in the thread. Thank you. Have Have a great day. It's a nice weekend out. It's beautiful out. If it's 95 degrees like it is here, stay in the AC. We'll see you on Facebook. Or, no, Facebook.
Whatever. So just have a great weekend. You might not even want to respond to all this. That's fine too. Have a great day, weekend. Talk to you soon.